Good morning everyone. Namaskar to all. This is Balneet Singh Bedi. I welcome all of you to the daily news analysis session by Tathastu ICS. Good morning Akhilesh, Abha Kiran, Suresh, Manasa Jain. Everyone, good morning. So in today's newspaper, most of the editorials are based on women issues. Why on women issues? Because tomorrow is International Women's Day, that is 8th of March 2025. So in today's newspaper, the editorials are focusing on women empowerment. They are focusing on gender equality, gender empowerment, gender sensitivity, workplace diversity. Good morning Mamta, Ruchi, Srimant, Shailu. They are focusing on laws, policies, interventions by the government, what government is doing in order to uplift the women's sector, about gender budgeting. So all the editorials, everything we will be discussing one by one. So under mains manthan we have two, women in corporate leadership, a lived reality. This talks about the role women plays in corporate life. How many women are there in the top management level, that is CEO, COO, CFO, that is Chief Financial Officer, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Technical Officer, Chief Executive Officer, and what are the challenges India is facing, what's the road ahead, what's the way forward. We will be discussing this under this editorial. Then next, beyond Beijing, unlocking a feminist future in India. Here there was a summit in Beijing which laid the foundation for gender equality. So what India can learn, how far India has come, what all steps India has taken for the benefit of women in education, health sector, financial inclusion, all of that. Shriman, Shailu, Mamta, Dheeraj, Ankit, Satyam, everyone, good morning. Then under Prelims Sarthi, we will be discussing about these two birds and AI Kosh. So let's start with the first editorial, women in corporate leadership, the lived reality. Why in news? As I said, International Women's Day 2025. So both the editorials are dependent on the women issues. It talks about women empowerment, gender equality, role of women in economic growth. Which part of syllabus it covers? It covers GS paper 2, that is governance and social justice, as well as GS paper 3, Indian economy. Why Indian economy? What role women plays in the labor force participation? What role women plays in the economic growth? How much they are contributing to the GDP of India? All of that would be covered. So Indian economy as well. Before I start with the editorial, what's the theme? What's the theme for International Women's Day 2025? Anyone? So basically it's accelerate action for gender equality. Accelerate action for gender equality. This is just important from your knowledge purpose. Right? Accelerate action for gender equality. To accelerate, to speed up the action, right? For gender equality. So the first talks about women's participation in corporate leadership. So it's saying that women's participation in the corporate leadership is low despite efforts for gender diversity. जितना मर्जी हमने gender diversity में efforts लगाए हैं, सब कुछ लगाए हैं, still in today's time women's participation in the leadership role is very low. Then DEI in the US have faced rollback impacting women's hiring growth opportunities. So basically DEI, that is Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Initiative, was of the US. Everyone, good morning. Very good Mamta, very good. Mitra, very nice. So DEI is an initiative, that is Diversity, Equity and Inclusion. It was an initiative, it was a program going on United States of America, but it has been rolled back. So it has affected the inclusion of women. This program wanted to include more women in the corporate leadership, but it has been rolled out by the US government, and that has taken a stall, that has taken impact on the women's hiring as well as the growth opportunities. Then it talks about the workforce participation of women in India. How much women are contributing, or how much women constitute in the workforce participation? It stands at 35.9%, but at the senior and middle management level the percentage is just 12.7%. This is 2024 data. Though we have 35.9% of the women which takes part in the workforce of India, but the women which are at the top and middle management level, the percentage is very, very low. That is 12.7% only. So that's a abysmally low figure. Now we will see what are the role of legal mandates in India. What are the laws says about inclusion of women in the corporate leadership? What laws, what policies India presently has, and how much is it supporting the women's growth? So we will see role of legal mandate. Companies Act 2013, it mandates at least one women director in public limited companies. It mandates at least one women director in certain public limited companies. Then we have SEBI regulations 2015. It requires at least one independent women director in 1,000 public listed companies, right? So SEBI regulation says there should be at least one independent women director, and Companies Act say there should be one women director in certain public limited companies. And these laws have been fruitful. They bore fruits. इन लॉस के बाद ही जो इम्पैक्ट आया है, इट लीड टू एन इंक्रीमेंट तो हुआ है, बट इट as compared to world, in compare with the global countries, it's still very, very low. So we will see increase in women directors on NSE 500 boards from 5% in 2011 to 18% in 2023. So we have come from 5% to 18% in 2023. Though we have increased to 18%, but still this figure is still very, very low. However, this remains a token representation unless, see, though we have 23% of the women in the top management level, but it would be a token representation. मतलब सिर्फ नाम मात्र उनको हमने उस सीट पे बिठा दिया है, until and unless we give them the real authority to take decisions, we give them the equal pay, we remove the workplace barriers. Till that time, it's just a token representation. So token representation unless accompanied by real decision making power or the equal pay. Then what are the benefits? What are the benefits if we include more women in the corporate leadership? अगर top management level पे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा women leaders होंगी, जय हिंद हुसैन, अगर ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा women होंगी, so what would be the benefits? So there would be greater corporate accountability and risk management, better corporate governance, risk assessment, ethical business practices. There would be diverse perspectives as in there would be the decision making would be from all the perspective, from social, from political, from emotional angle as well, if women are there in the top leadership. So we will see what's been written in the editorial. It would offer social, education and career experiences. They enhance decision making. Women leaders improve workplace culture, employee satisfaction and CSR initiatives. So basically, अगर women को leadership में बिठा दिया जाए तो CSR initiatives होंगे. Maybe, for example, there was a Nirbhaya fund, right? And there are many other funds which are women centric. So women who are sitting at the top management, they will take more initiatives for CSR. They will take measures which will satisfy the employees at the best level. They will take actions against the sexual harassment at the workplaces. So all of these measures would be strengthened if women are at the corporate leadership level. Companies with more women in leadership are often ranked and admired ethical companies globally. This is a very basic point. Then what are the challenges? What are the challenges if we have women in the corporate leadership? So gender pay gap, right? Women are continue being suffered for paid less than the male counterparts. जो men है at the top management, they are being paid good amount of salary and the same amount is not being given to the women, and that is why there is a gender pay gap. So they continue to earn less than their male counterparts. There are limited leadership opportunities. Many companies appoint women as a token gesture rather than giving them real power and decision making. We have discussed, right, कि women को हमने corporate एक seat पर तो बिठा दिया. We have appointed you as a CEO, but you can't take any decisions. Decisions has to be taken by the board of directors or by the most of the male members. So it's just a token representation. It's just a rubber stamp, right? Bias against women in decision making roles. Women face stereotypes that limit their rise to C-suite executive position, that is CEO, CFO, CEO. C-suite executive positions means all these positions which are at the extreme top level, the head level, that is Chief Executive Officer, Financial Officer, Operating Officer, Chief Technical Officer, CTO. So all these positions which starts with the word chief. So that is why C-suite executive positions. Lack of mentorship and networking, few mentorship opportunities for women in corporate setting which impact their career progressions as well. So what's the way forward? There should be increased mandatory number of women directors on corporate boards beyond the existing one member requirement. अभी हमने Companies Act में देखा था one women director, right? So we need to have mandatory more women members. Existing जो है भी one है उससे ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए. To ensure pay parity and equal growth opportunities for women leadership. To encourage mentorship and leadership training programs. Mentorship programs होने चाहिए, leadership training program होने चाहिए, so that one can enhance their skills, one can improve on oneself in order to take big decisions for the company. Implement flexible work policies, child care, maternal care, creche facilities, all these workplace safety regulations. अगर कोई sexual harassment के cases हैं, so that needs to be taken care of as well, so that women are safe at workplaces, and there should be proper implementation of all the existing laws, existing policies, as well as existing schemes. Then the next editorial is Beyond Beijing, Unlocking a Feminist Future in India. Now, again, this is women centric, as I've mentioned, International Women's Day. So both the editorials are focusing on gender empowerment, gender equality, gender sensitization, as well as women empowerment. Why in news? Role of women, economic empowerment, financial inclusion, as well as role of women's organization. It covers 3 GS papers, so it's very important. GS paper 1, Indian society, GS paper 2, governance and social justice, and GS 3, Indian economy, because of financial inclusion initiatives as well. This editorial is very important. Why it's important? Because it's talking about the initiatives taken by the government of India in healthcare sector, in education sector, women's role in financial inclusion, how many women have included in the financial inclusion initiatives. It talks about gender budgeting. It also talks about several other measures, as well as women's political representation. We all know Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam Bill 2023. So all of this has been discussed here. Right. So Beyond Beijing, Unlocking a Feminist Future in India. Why Beyond Beijing? How come Beijing comes here? So there was a summit, there was a conference in 1995, that is Beijing Plan Action for Summit. That was the summit which laid the foundation for gender equality. 1995 में बीजिंग की समिट हुई थी. दैट वाज द फर्स्ट समिट विच ले, जिसने एक नींव रखी थी, हिंदी में कहा जाता है नींव रखी थी जेंडर इक्वालिटी की. उसने ग्लोबल एरेना में बताया था कि जेंडर इक्वालिटी शुड बी देयर, राइट, वी शुड वर्क टुवर्ड्स दैट. सो 1995, what all steps, what all challenges India faced, the road taken by India, how India is exploring opportunities in providing more leadership roles to women, social development of women, economic empowerment of women. All of this has been discussed in this editorial. So again, as I said, Beijing Declaration and its significance. Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action 1995 is a global blueprint for advancing women's rights in 12 critical areas. 12 critical areas quickly: education, training, poverty reduction, healthcare, violence against women, economic and political participation. We will see each and every point in detail in this editorial. So stay tuned, stay alert and attentive. India has actively participated in implementing these goals, leading to policy advancement, grassroots movement and economic inclusion of women. India ने सारी चीजों को मद्देनजर रखते हुए all those steps, all those policies have been taken for the grassroots level, grassroots movement, as well as economic inclusion of women as well. So first, this slide talks about women's health. What initiatives India has taken to progress in women's health. Now we will see this as well. Very good. Matru Vandana Yojana, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Very nice. So maternal health programs such as Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan. Now this talks about, or this provides free antenatal care to the pregnant women on their second and third trimester of pregnancy, that too on 9th of every month, right? So it provides free antenatal care to the pregnant women. Then Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, it talks about cash incentives to the pregnant women, to the lactating mothers, right? And it has given the data then that these are the schemes it has been implemented, and what are the benefits of implementing these schemes. Institutional deliveries increased to 95%. So it's a big achievement for India after implementing both these schemes. Then maternal mortality rate reduced from 130 to 97 per 1 lakh live births in 2020. That is 97 per lakh births. Contraceptive use, 56.5% married women use modern contraceptive which enable them to take their reproductive decisions, right? They can take their own decisions whether to get pregnant or not. So they have reproductive choice, they have a freedom, right? Then last, Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. It's the largest public health insurance scheme. It's the world's largest public health insurance scheme which provides 5 lakh per family per year for secondary and tertiary hospitalization, right? So 5 lakh per family per year for secondary and tertiary hospitalization expenses. MMR is maternal mortality rate, Ankit, right? You can see this on the slide as well. So in this, all the schemes you need to learn. Suraksha, Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan, Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, maternal mortality rate, you should be aware of the data here, and Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Then we will see what initiatives has been taken for the women's education. The first Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, which has improved child sex ratio, right? Which has also increased the school enrollment of girls, right? Zyada se zyada ladkiyon ne enrollment liya hai school mein, and it has also improved the child sex ratio. I have attached the data as well. 918 to 930 is the child sex ratio. Also, National Education Policy 2020 also talks about higher attention rate for girls, and it encourage the girls to take active participation in STEM field. STEM field is science, technology, then you have engineering, and then you have maths, right? So STEM fields में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लड़कियों का भी involvement हो, सिर्फ male का involvement नहीं होना चाहिए. Then the financial inclusion initiatives. I've told you in begin, we'll discuss everything in detail, right? This editorial has talked about the healthcare, the education, the financial inclusion, the gender budgeting, as well as women's representation in politics. All of that has been discussed. So it's an important one, right? Women-led financial inclusion initiatives. Here we have National Rural Livelihood Mission and National Urban Livelihood Mission, which has provided 100 million women connected to financial networks via self-help groups. A very basic school, very good. Yes, Hussain, you are right. Then we have digital literacy through PM Disha scheme, that is Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan, right? This scheme, PM Disha, aims to provide digital literacy to 6 crore rural people. 6 crore rural people, they are being provided with basic computer training, एक basic knowledge, एक basic literacy at the digital level these 6 crore people should have. So this is the motive of PM Disha scheme. It has trained over 35 million rural women, and UPI and digital economy, it has increased financial transactions by women, boosting economic independence. We all have been using UPIs, so it has increased the involvement of women as well, and they have become more economic independent. Then talks about the gender budgeting. So we will see what's in gender budgeting. The allocation has been increased from 6.8% to 8.8% of the total national budget. So 8.8% of the total national budget is towards the gender budgeting. What is gender budgeting? Basically, it's a policy tool. I've explained it before as well. I'll do a quick revision by telling you it's basically a policy tool adopted by the government of India by allocating more and more resources to the women-centric initiatives, to the women-centric schemes to address the gender disparity, right? To bring gender parity and to address the gender disparities, right? So $55.2 billion has been allocated for gender-focused programs. You just have to remember this data. I'm writing it very big, 8.8% has been allocated for the gender budgeting of the total national budget. Right? Then how we can address the gender-based violence? We have one-stop centers. What are one-stop centers? Anyone? Quickly. What are one-stop centers? So basically, one-stop centers has been established in 2015 under Nirbhaya Fund. These centers provide legal support, psychological support, as well as police assistance to women who have faced dowry harassment, acid attacks, trafficking, gender-based violence, domestic violence, sexual harassment, all under one roof. जितनी भी women हैं who have been through all these problems of violence, acid attacks, trafficking, sexual harassment, domestic violence, right, workplace harassment, all of that, they provide legal support, police assistance, psychological support, medical support, all under one roof. So that is one stop center, right? So they provide medical support, legal support and psychological support to the survivors. Then have Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, BNS, that is 2023. It has replaced which act? IPC 1860. Right? Now this new bill has come up with to enhance the punishment, to come up with more stricter laws, to be more gender sensitive reforms. So it has brought more gender sensitive reforms, and that is why it's mentioned in the editorial. Strengthen legal protections for women, implemented in July 2024. Innovations in survivor support. Now these are the success stories. These are the success stories which you need to learn from your mains perspective. Right? You learn from your mains perspective. So the first success story is of Odisha. Odisha has come up with blockchain based system. Learn it very carefully. Everyone, now stop commenting, listen to this. Right? So Odisha is talking about blockchain based system to provide safe, secure atmosphere to the women who have faced gender based violence. Right? Why? So that there would be transparency, there would be accountability, and there would be no more harassment if that lady has to go to various places in order to justify whatever problem she has gone through. So it's a blockchain based system in Odisha. Then second, UN Rajasthan Police Partnership, which has strengthened gender sensitive policing. You just have to write, if there is any question of women empowerment, you can write UN Rajasthan Police Partnership, then this arrow, gender sensitive policing. That would done the job. And blockchain based system in Odisha, which would provide safe atmosphere, secure atmosphere, confidential atmosphere for the women who have faced gender based violence. So here one stop centers, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and these two success stories. Then comes women leadership and political representation. Now, young women leading in climate and digital sectors, we all know the first talks about Gati. Gati is gender advancement for transforming institutions, right? From transforming institutions, right? So it talks about to encourage the women participation in STEM field, STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It focuses on that. Then we have G20 Tech Equity Platform. It trained thousands of young women in emerging technologies. Emerging technologies, AI, big data, Internet of Things, right? All of that. So the women will be trained in all these emerging technologies under this G20 Tech Equity platform. The name itself is have equity. That means not only male, females as well. Then Women Reservation Bill, we have Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, right, which is expected to be implemented in next elections, Lok Sabha elections, that is 2029, right. So this bill has been brought in which 1/3 of the seats in the Lok Sabha, the state legislative assemblies as well as Delhi Assembly will be reserved for women, and this already has SC and ST inclusion or reservation as well in this 1/3 of the seats. Why? To enhance gender sensitive governance, to enhance women's political representation, right. So guarantees 33% seats in parliament and state assemblies. As I have told, we have Delhi Assembly as well. This is just for your knowledge. Build upon 1.5 million women leaders in local governance, that is largest women political cohort, right. So learn this Gati G20 Tech Equity platform and Women Reservation Bill or Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Then we have two topics from the prelims perspective. They are important and I have given you two practice MCQs as well. So be alert, be attentive and give me the correct answer today. None of the aspirant or none of you who's watching shall give me wrong answer. So the first one, this is on page number 9 of The Hindu Daily edition. So it's an image, pelicans and painted storks, right. So basically it's of a zoo. It's a picture of a zoo in Visakhapatnam Zoological Park, and these two birds are there. So I have covered them. So spot-billed pelicans, right. This is the photo of that. This is the photo of spot-billed pelican, and these are the places where they are mostly found. So spot-billed pelican, grey pelican, is a large water bird. It's been distributed in Indian subcontinent as well as Southeast Asia. Habitat, a variety of wetland, both freshwater and saline. Very basic, freshwater में भी पाई जाती है and saline wetlands में भी. It breeds colonially in acacia bushes. Right now, this statement means it breeds colonially. Colonially means they reproduce in group rather than individually. एक bird individual नहीं रहती. They stay in group, in colonies. So it breeds colonially. Right now you will be able to relate. In colonies, in groups, they reproduce in acacia bushes. Acacia bushes is just a nesting site, a nesting ground, and it's covers under Schedule 4th of Wildlife Protection Act 1972, and its IUCN status is near threatened. It's not vulnerable, not endangered, it's near threatened. Then the next one, painted storks. Again, it's a shorebird. Distribution endemic to Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. Its habitat, freshwater marshes, lake, flooded fields, irrigation canals as well as rivers. IUCN status is same, that is near threatened, right. Then comes is your prelims practice question. Do this question correct, please. Come on everyone, give me the answers. Mitra, read the third and fourth statement again. Manisha, read the statements again. Rest everyone, Mohammed Saeed, Mamta, Ruchi, Mansa, Priyanka, Rehan, Sonali, you all have given the correct answer. So I'll do the question. Consider the following statements regarding spot-billed pelicans and painted storks. First, they are found in Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. This statement is correct. Second, primarily breeds colonially in acacia bushes, while painted storks commonly found in freshwater marshes and lakes. Absolutely correct. Conservation status of both species is listed as endangered. Is it endangered? It's not endangered. It is near threatened. IUCN status is near threatened. So this statement is wrong. This statement is right. Second is right. Third is wrong. Both species face threats, habitat loss, hunting and invasive species. Absolutely right. So third statement is wrong. This is not. 1, 2 and 4 is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Yes, NT is near threatened. Then the second, AI Kosh. So basically, Government of India has launched a AI Kosh. AI Kosh is a centralized platform which stores and give access to non-personal data sets. Listen to me very carefully. It's a centralized platform with the union government which stores and give access to non-personal data sets so that AI models and AI tools can be framed, can be established. Why Government of India is doing this? Because they want to build or they want to have a homegrown foundational AI model similar to the model of China, that is DeepSeek. इंडिया भी चाहता है कि इंडिया का एक अपना AI मॉडल हो, एक होम ग्रोन फाउंडेशनल AI मॉडल which is similar to DeepSeek model of China. So I'll read it for you. The Government of India has launched AI Kosh, a repository of non-personal data sets to facilitate AI model development and tool creation. It is a part of India AI mission, India Artificial Intelligence missions. The repository currently this data sets largely focusing on Indian language translation tools. Any information in newspaper regarding the AI tools is very, very important, because there are higher chances that there would be a prelims question on AI related to XYZ. You have to cover this topic 360 degree. If there are some recent initiatives or any sort of India is taking any sort of initiative on the AI industry or AI approach, you should be aware of that. Right, so AI Kosha is a repository of non-personal data set. ये data set होगा तभी AI model बन पाएगा, right? तभी AI को एक India अपना AI model grow कर पाएगा. So again, you have a prelims practice question. Solve it very quickly. It's very easy. Very good, Mamta. Absolutely correct. Mamta, Ruchi, Srimant, correct answer. Manasa, the correct answer is C. It's a government-led initiative to promote artificial intelligence development by providing non-personal data sets. So AI Kosha is providing non-personal data sets. So yeah, absolutely everyone is giving the correct answer. Mohammad Saeed, Dheeraj, Rehan, Abhinandan, Sonali, Mitra. So this is the last. With this, we have come to the conclusion of today's daily news analysis session. If you have any queries, any questions, any comments, please feel free to jot down your comment in the comment section of the video. I'll be there to assist you as soon as possible. With this, we end the session and I wish you all the very best for your prelims 2025. Study well, study hard, study smart, show discipline and consistency the way you show in DNA sessions. So practice your PYQs, practice your test series. All the very best to each one of you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.